Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patch Notes Season 3, Episode 1. It has been far too long because we had a great episode lined up as a finale. We're not going to go too much into it because you got to live life with no regrets. But let's just say it was our best episode ever. May always be. No, it won't always be. There's plenty lined up.
No.
We're going to try to be exciting this new season, have a few more things lined up. But it was a really good episode.
It was actually just our best episode we ever did.
It was. We loved it.
The media got corrupted.
Yes. It was tragic. It was this
It was a 1 in a million chance that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the most fun we ever had. We did a really fun rundown, which I'm thinking if we give it enough time, we can just do it again.
If
I only remember the top two. I only remember the top
that could be
two.
the finale
that's
for
the
this.
thing.
What
It
if
won't
we,
be a surprise anymore.
It won't be a surprise, but I will forget.
I forgot all the placements though. I don't know.
Yeah,
what we did is we counted down the top 40 games of all time based on a Reddit user who used a bot to crawl through the internet and aggregate all professional rankings.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't, I guess, that many. There were more surprises on what was left out as what was put in, but that's not just how many good games there are.
Right.
Yeah.
We have
some of the games that got in there, but we can't say what was number one.
Gaming do we
and it was the Zelda game.
Breath
of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild
was number one of all time, even though that game was just released in the last 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is impressive for Zelda. But yeah, we also got to realize very tangibly just how much more gaming Wolf Clock has done than the rest of us.
True.
We didn't introduce ourselves.
Hey.
I am
What?
Spinozone.
who are these
This
people?
is Vindy. This is Wolf Clock. I'm sorry.
Hi.
You've probably been watching us before, so you know that. But I thought it was considerate.
All
you know?
40 of you.
All 40.
40.
You know, 41 on a good day. But
Almost as many years as video games have been alive.
yeah. You knew so many on that list. So many, and had actually played them. It was kind of, I was a little starstruck. It was cool.
I've been a gamer since I've been 3 years old,
Yeah.
and I've had nearly every single console released in America. So the only one I didn't own as a child really growing up was the Super Nintendo,
Holy shit.
which I later got
Yeah.
in, my young adulthood, just to say that I didn't miss out on it.
See, my first console ever was the Wii.
Oh,
Before the Wii, I
whoa.
only had handhelds.
Insane.
It was a Game Boy Life until the
Okay,
Wii.
I didn't have all of the handhelds because there were a couple
Yeah,
of Game
yeah, yeah.
Boys I missed out on.
And that's when the car rolled over.
Oh shit!
But I actually made it out with only minor burns. Anyway, it was a crazy story. You guys really had to be there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. They still haven't found out it was me. But in any case, so yeah, we had this really cool episode.
Yeah.
Lots of bonding, and sometimes it's important to just have a memory for yourselves and your close friends.
Truly.
Yeah, that is a peak that you don't need to see. I mean, it would have been cool if you did, but
I cried. I cried when the footage was
yeah, that
malfunctioned.
was one of the sadder days of my year.
Yeah, that was because
Yeah.
that was that was
One
a
of those-
great
That
episode.
to that testament though, you must have had a badass year if that was one of the saddest parts of your year.
It was but it was
that
also
is
really sad.
Very much a first world sadness.
Dude, it is. Well, I'll put it that bill for my foot. That was a worse day. That was a
bad
substantially worse day than the lost footage. In any case, a lot of stuff has happened since we last spoke to you, our treasured viewers, and we thought we'd catch up a little bit. Now, I'm thinking we could start a little bit close to home with how cool Edge Gamers Lounge is and all of the ways that it participates in the community and our personal lives.
Yeah. Well, good thing is we have a digital build out of the floor plan picked. So I get to
For
show
Appleton?
you that. Yeah,
Yep.
I can show you that later. So we do have a floor plan for Appleton selected.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for that floor plan?
I would say Sean is probably a 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I am probably there with Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're only running 2,800 square feet and it's got some quirks to the way the suite is, you're not going to get a 10 out of 10.
Hey, but it has a sauna. So is it really a 6 out of 10?
Right.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
I don't think the customers will think anything of it at all, but we know.
Right.
So.
Well, there's always like that your envision of what you want it to look like, and then the reality that you have to settle for.
There's these jut outs that happen, and when I walk you guys through it for the first time, you'll be like, "Huh, that's a choice." Yeah, you're just be like, "Really?
Yeah,
but why?"
Yeah.
So like, these things are the previous owner of the building, because the new owner now, Scott, he hasn't had it for very long, so he's actually kind of discovering these things with us.
I see.
So we're like, okay. So the previous landlords just chopped the ever-living crap out of this thing. It's like, oh, somebody wanted an extra 30 foot over in the next suite. Okay, jut it out.
Done.
Right. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why were these? So there's a lot of that happening. It's a weird space. We're going to make it not look weird.
Right, of course.
So the price is excellent.
Right.
So that's good for us because it allows us to stay competitive in the market of location-based entertainment. And
not only that, but Appleton is a city where the competition for location-based entertainment is very high.
There's a lot to do over there. A lot of people come to Appleton to do things.
Yep.
Fox River Mall's the biggest in the state.
Yeah. And
wait, what?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, Wikipedia has some fact. Did you know rum chata is made in Wisconsin?
I did.
Wait, what?
Yeah, rum chata is made in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Dude, yeah, Wikipedia, strong endorsement. It's like a video game.
It's the only thing I donate to is Wikipedia. Yep.
We did have that. We did have that. Yeah.
Yep.
I did. I don't think it recurred. I don't think I set it up.
I have it reoccurring.
Yeah.
Oh, you reoccurred donate? Oh shit.
I did it one time.
They call me a top 2%er because I donate $4.99.
Oh my god.
Every quarter.
I've always wanted to be in the top 1% of another thing. I should just make it Wikipedia.
Wait, what was the first thing? Being a white American?
Well, no. One time there was one season I got really good at
probably
TFT.
having a master's degree.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Actually,
It's not top 1%
of the globe.
Yeah, but reference classes are important.
Yeah,
Am I thinking about? Maybe I should be thinking about the globe.
I wonder if you're top 1% of Americans to have a master's degree.
Nope. Definitely not.
No way, really?
Post-secondary.
You think Do you think there's 33 million Americans that have a master's degree
or higher? Yeah. Like including MDs, JDs. Yeah.
It's got to be way skewed.
Let me say that number one more time, just in case you misheard me. Do you think 33 million?
Yeah, because one time I was insecure and had status anxiety, and so Googled it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't make 1%. Pretty sure. Otherwise, I would feel better.
All right, it's a good thing this guy just has something right here. Anyways, so we're pretty excited for that location. We have an electrician lined up. He's going to come in and start doing some work, so we're starting to break ground and hoping for like a soft open in December and a full open like December 15th.
Right.
So, from 2011 to 2021, the number of people aged 25 or over whose highest degree was a master's degree rose to 24 million.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then doctoral is
he might actually be right. I don't know about more.
Wait, that's crazy. I can't believe
that's just masters too.
I can't believe there are 24 million master's degrees.
Yeah. Age 25 and over, 13%.
Yeah. Of course, mine means the most, right?
Well, yeah. Philosophy.
Dr.
It's
Jessica
just
Bear
as important as Civil War
ever.
historian. You know?
Yes.
That's insane.
Is it?
Definitely not. Yours is much more important.
No. I was just thinking, like, to people, it's really not important for gaming culture. All right. If you ever want to talk about Nietzsche, like I've got a DM me. Edge, Appleton going well.
It's going well. No big hiccups yet. Yet. There will be at least one.
There always are. There will be blood.
So far I'm pretty excited. I saw in here you threw on the tournament. I did have our first League of Legends tournament on Saturday. I played in it. It's our first tournament in about 6 months.
And that was an EGL tournament.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Had 20 players. Played online. Although we did have one team come in and play in person.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was just a small, like $250 prize pool, free entry.
Mm-hmm.
No
casting.
No casting because our caster is out of state.
Sombra?
So yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's on vacation. So
Dang.
not a big deal. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's kind of crazy. We had some new people in there, and they're like, yeah, so what do these guys play? I'm like, well, he's gonna play this, and if we ban that, he's probably gonna play this, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And the draft went exactly how I called it. And then the one guy's like, wow, you must be really good at drafting. I'm like, actually, I have no idea how to do this at all. But I've been playing against this person and then it just hit me, 6 years.
Yeah.
So
but I've only met him 3 times.
Crazy.
But I've been playing against him for 6 years.
Yeah.
And he's right here in Green Bay.
Oh,
and we don't. I mean, we have like a circle of friends inside the competitive scene. That's how we're like looped into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's like I'd recognize his face if I saw him. He would recognize me if he saw me. But it's like it's just weird how you can play against these people. They live here in Green Bay, and this is our only way we interact is like through tournament play. But it's just kind of cool. It's like, yeah, I know what this guy plays, and
all the more reason why we need more events.
Yep,
I know. I'm working on it. I already have the next one set for 10/19.
We're getting a Sunday desk person, so I can get here for Valorant even sooner.
Let me know a Sunday you want, and I'll announce.
All right, perfect.
I'm just at the point right now where I'm just like, tell me a date, I'm announcing it immediately, and I'll just worry about everything else later. So,
are we doing that for January? You said
you could do one for October.
I could do sooner than January.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm told she's getting back to me this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think NWTC is putting together a Valorant team too. We should reach out.
Oh, that's hip.
They already have teams.
Yep.
But yeah, we could definitely reach out.
Yeah.
I wonder if Lakeland still has one. I mean, it's been like a class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
I think UWGB might actually be building teams now too.
Oh, really?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And tell him we gave.
What school do you go to? Oh.
Tell him we gave vaguely threatening,
we're
going to be so much better than you vibes, and so then he really wants to get in contact with us immediately to prove himself.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
So events, that's going to happen too. That'll be lit. Your tournament went well, but yeah, there are a lot of things that happened over the past few. It's been a couple months. One of the things was Valorant Champions 2024. That was hype. A Chinese team, Edward Gaming, actually took home the throne.
Edward Gaming, never heard of them before.
Wow.
It's actually a huge deal for them because China got into the global Valorant leagues a full year after every other region.
Yeah.
So there have only been 4 global champions tournaments so far. China was completely out of the first one, got to every meta, every international competition to start honing talent much later than others. And so for China to actually knock it out of the park this time was absolutely huge. They beat out Team Heretics, who we talked about in a few of the other episodes, had been really good in the European scene. Then all the way down in 4th was Sentinels, which was kind of sad. And even sadder about Sentinels, it wasn't nearly as sad as the not having our last episode, but Tenz has retired.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I heard about this, and
Yes.
I forgot to message you. Isn't he young?
He's quite young.
It's
why is he retiring?
It's almost as if his streaming career could be substantially more lucrative.
Right.
Than
what he wants to do is he wants to do variety streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's already good. Look at how much fun Shroud is having not
exactly.
competing. Yeah.
And Shroud even has got partnered with a video game now.
Spectre Divide, which I do want to talk about.
He wants to do variety FPS streaming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's crazy because
he doesn't want his brand to be tied to Valorant anymore, and you can't blame him for that.
And his personality is large enough to go farther than it, right?
Definitely.
And also, you don't want his personality to be tied down by Sentinel's results, right?
Yeah.
I completely understand it. As somebody who used to be competitive in a certain field and then realized he couldn't compete as well as he
and
wished he would.
also like competitive age is a lot lower.
Yep.
In Valorant than it is in League.
Yeah, like he's been around since the beginning. He played Valorant
falls off, man.
since 2020. He also started as a duelist.
How old is he?
Let's find out.
I don't know, but like he's Canadian, and Canadian years are like slightly different. It's like the exchange rate, you know? Yeah, it's at least like 3 esports.
Oh my God, he's 23. Never mind. Yeah, he's just cashing out.
He never even made his money. He's gonna have no legacy.
They won Masters. They won Masters
he's
this
cashing
season.
out. Well, okay.
He's gonna have no legacy though.
He's
just gonna become another
okay.
high-end FPS player.
Right.
This is a huge mistake.
Do you know Tarek?
Listen to me.
Do you know Tarek? Tarek has so many viewers. Tarek regularly.
He's like 50,000 viewers.
Why isn't Tenz going to be able to pull the same kind of thing? Having co-streams where his commentary gets paired with, like, I love casting. I love listening to casters.
I will back up real quick. Is Tarek an ex-pro as well?
Tarek's an ex-pro, yeah.
Was Tarek a prodigy like Tenz was?
I think he was pretty good.
He was like one of the better ones,
yeah. And one thing
I'm going to say is the market can't support 4 Tareks.
No, it can support a Tarek and a Tenz, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And a Shroud?
Yeah. Shroud doesn't always watch Valorant.
And Shroud rarely touches Valorant, actually, ever
right.
since he retired from it.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something. I think taking the like double lift path, playing for a long time, becoming absolutely unequivocally the best in your region, and then streaming.
But
I don't know.
I think about how little stress you have though if you're not having to grind to be at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your job.
He gets to do that.
Yeah, and so he's changing jobs.
He wants that influencer. He wants the influencer.
It's just lame.
I get that you want everyone to be super ambitious and strive for the top, and I do love that, but that's why esports burnout is so bad.
I feel you on the main thing, which is he's making more money doing that. Like
probably happier. Spends more time with Kaide.
He guaranteed it
with his wife.
Val
They're
players
married now.
Don't make what League players
Well, and
do.
then he's tied down by Riot's guidelines.
Yep.
Like he can't make personality streams where something's going to go wrong if he's playing on the
I
Valorant
get
team.
that. I'm just saying.
And does he want to be an Omen player forever? Like, he started as a duelist, right? And then he started getting overshadowed by other duelists in the league. People thought his time was done, but he actually extended his time because, like, he had been a prodigy, but then it's not like he was still arguably one of the best players in at least
Can you look
North
at the
America.
salary?
Sure.
10 salary.
But like then, like his last year or so with Sentinels has been as a smoker. Like he's been playing a lot of Omen. He's been great as Omen, but it's not the naturally fragging role of the team. The fragging role that goes to Zekin now. Zekin's a little bit younger. Still plays Jet. Still plays Raze. Still plays all the duelists. I love Omen. He's a great character. But does Tenz want to be an Omen player for the rest of his life? And maybe it's different if Sentinels got first this year, but there were a lot of years where Sentinels was supposed to, take home the gold and didn't quite. And so maybe this is going out on like what he thinks is a high. So yeah, it's a bummer. Like we all want to see talent, but there's a lot of other talent in North America. Like the Ascension tournament just went on. Valorant Ascension.
Is that promotion?
Yeah, that's promotion.
Yeah.
And it was actually a pretty decent upset because I don't know if you know M80, the esports organization. They have a team in Valorant. And the team in Valorant has been, like, kick-ass all year. Previous years in Ascension, like, last year it was going to be, like, them or G2, and G2 got it. And G2's actually done pretty well this year. Like, the G2 shows that Ascension teams can compete with some of the Tier 1 teams. Like, it's not unilateral across regions, right? But M80 choked at the last moment to a Brazilian team. And this Brazilian team was less consistent but had really high highs. And it's stuff like that where, like, up-and-coming players show up every month.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
We'll miss Tenz, but like there are so many other people.
You don't have to miss Tenz.
Yeah, he'll still be there.
Right.
I can get Tenz and 10 other players in the server.
Only estimates of $20,000 to $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
No, yeah. And you know how many people watch Tarek and the game? Imagine. So Tarek imagine Tarek Tenz co-streams.
I'm sure Tarek is probably making between $80,000 and $140,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and so Tenz he's a social guy, right? And he's got great charisma, and he's got a girlfriend that's also a content creator. And for them to be able to now do like couple type of content is going to take both their careers together.
We'll see.
And I think that is actually a big
It'll
push
be interesting to see,
I really
because
do.
I think there's a very good chance that you just, I don't know. I should probably watch Tenz too. It helps that if I
and
should
Valorant
watch
generally.
Not even Valorant.
Like if you watch more Valorant, you might.
If he's going to Variety, then I don't have to watch Valorant.
Right.
So
I have to see how he stands.
But so here's another thing. So Sentinels had an interesting turbulent year because they did exceptionally well in the first split and won the first Masters.
Yeah.
And they could not reach that original Masters form.
No.
They got close in the most recent Champions, but they had a period of time where they were trying to innovate, trying to use a lot of Deadlock, and were looking very bad. Their Deadlock play was looking worse than a lot of the Tier 2 teams. There's a clip of Sean Garris, an old CS player, fairly influential in the Valorant community, just being like Sean is one of the like now content creators or casters or what have you, who doesn't really get angry at teams. Like there's some people who will just like diss teams as they watch them or co-streams, but like Sean's generally
League of Legends.
Sean is pretty upbeat, but watching Sentinel's Deadlock play, he was just saying these guys are not watching the Tier 2 teams that are putting all of the work and finding these new innovative comps, and they're just pretending like, oh, we've just got to be better than the Tier 2 teams. Let's, without any research, just try to do it ourselves.
Yeah, try to be better than them at their own
he's
game.
like analyzing the timing. Like John QT throws out the Deadlock wall on Ascent, and he's doing the math on, okay, when is the soonest Sentinels can enter the site? The wall is already going to be like useless by that point. There's no way you can capitalize on this. Watch the Tier 2 teams, because Deadlock got started really in Tier 2 teams innovating. But so Sentinels had a rough patch, and there were a few there were several like interviews with Sentinels players talking about how hard it is to go from incredibly high highs to starting to choke.
Right.
And you have like all of these expectations, and everyone wants the story of just like you do super well and you keep doing super well and you keep doing super well because your brand's huge, you've got the most fans in the region, and your players are great. But once it starts dipping and then fans start identifying like the problem on the team without knowing anything about how that team works, right? Like maybe
everyone on Reddit is Challenger or Immortal.
True.
That's yeah.
That's the only way you get
that's why I'm not allowed on Reddit. I'm not strong enough. But like that takes a toll. That takes a serious toll, and it was pretty obvious that Sentinels were feeling that. There are some people
and Tenz indirectly then feels it, right? Because he's like the poster child for Sentinels, right?
And you know, people saying Tenz washed, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he had his great moments, but no, he wasn't performing like they were relying on.
He did do pretty well in Champions. He had some still terrific performances, but that is a lot of stress that he is in a position to not need. Right. There are some people who can't carry a brand with their gamer tag, right? They're like, if
well, they got to have legacy if they're not that entertaining.
They do. Right. John QT is the IGL for Sentinels, and like IGL, you know, mastermind persona, right? That's great. But right now, he would not be able to quit Valorant, have his own brand, be like John QT, have Tarek levels of streams, right? He is good by being an IGL in a team that has a lot of fans. He is playing a role.
For in-game leader.
Yeah.
Captain.
Tenz can. Right. And like depending on where your motivation is, like he tried really hard for a while. Right? A good while. 4 years in an esport is, I mean, you have League of Legends and you have,
but that's still, I mean, that is, I think that's about average.
Yeah.
I mean, it is expected that you retire around the 4th or 5th year, unless you are just good. Yeah. I mean, you gotta be like, I'm an every other year type talent.
You gotta be good, and you have to still have the burning passion that is stronger than all of the reasons telling
you to
speak.
Only that, your passion has to be bigger than the restrictions that Riot puts on the personality of your content.
Speaking of Deadlock, by the way.
Oh yes, great transition. There is
terrible esport.
It's a budding esport. It just started. Okay, so I am bad at League of Legends. I play League of Legends. I'm like, what's this? Everybody knows this game for 10 years. I'm never going to get good. If
Wait,
it's
you've
not
actually tried Summoner's Rift?
Yeah, I've tried a few times.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, I played Darius in top lane and got beaten like immediately by a girl play.
You don't know what you're doing because Darius beats everyone. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm terrible at this game. I never played a MOBA
right.
before. I go into this and I'm like, what are these items? I've heard things about
the
boots.
items is the most daunting thing about League.
And so so part of the thing that attracted to me about Deadlock is I'm getting in on the ground floor. Nobody else at this moment knows all these weapons or these items, right?
Right.
And nobody knows all these characters. I started playing Infernus. I liked Infernus a lot. He's a guy who runs around. So for those who haven't played it yet,
fingers.
Yes, he shoots fiery bullets out of his fingers. He looks cool and he reloads by like shaking his hands.
There's your first animation layer in editing. You gotta pew pew pew. Get some fire going.
Yeah, never has enough ammo. Well, you can get a bigger magazine with it. But it's a third-person shooter MOBA, and the shooter fact got me into it. Like, if it were just like League of Legends, I would be convinced that I would just always be behind the curve to people who have already been playing League of Legends. But there was an opportunity here for me to get in and think, hey, you could maybe learn how to do a MOBA and get the general principles. But also, I'm not good at shooters, but I know enough to be able to be competitive sometimes. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I played. I've been playing, besides Infernus, there's this character Viscus, who is, he's pretty much Zac. In
League of Legends?
League of Legends, yeah. He's super funny. He goes into a giant ball for his ultimate and rolls around. He's goo. He can shoot a goo arm someplace and push it. You can shoot the goo arm out of a wall behind the opposing player to boop you into you. There's just a bunch of fun stuff you can do with him, and he's still got a pretty low play rate. And so even if I'm bad, sometimes people don't know well enough how to play around a Viscus's abilities that I can get some cheap shots. But yeah, Deadlock was exciting to me. I want to know what you guys think.
I played 2 rounds of 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay.
Busted character.
Yeah, noob killer.
Which is interesting because only his ult to me felt broken.
Oh, okay.
The ult is broken, but
the ultimate was like, oh my gosh, I've never even played this game before, and I'm like, this
guaranteed
right.
CC is also huge. There is a time delay on the CC.
Mm-hmm.
But
for which one is that? Is that the
I've never played 7.
Oh,
everybody
that's the
always
thing that stuns you. Yeah. That's very effective. It's so consistent.
It is. It's a guaranteed
why
hit.
It's busted.
Yeah.
To me,
nobody's good enough to play around it efficiently.
Yeah, for any League
of Legends players,
for any League of Legends players, imagine Kennen ult 4 times the radius. It doesn't stun, but it does 10 times the amount of damage. Oh, and it goes on for 15 seconds.
Yeah, his ult is.
That ult is comical.
It is. Really I think he's been nerfed since.
He had to.
Yeah. I can't keep up with all this.
The thing with Deadlock that I did not like is I felt like there was a lot of dead space on the map. I felt like the maps that I played. How many maps are there? Is there only one?
There's just the one.
There's 4 lanes.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of dead space.
Did you do much jungling? Or shooting breakable.
That's what all the dead space is.
Yeah, the dead space is all about jungling. There are a lot of little jungles, and watching
it just wasn't interesting to me to run through all that, even shooting the pots.
It takes a little bit. It takes a few games where you're either behind enough to just not know what else to do, so you start exploring a little bit, or it takes being so far ahead that sometimes everybody on the other team is dead,
right?
But they're going to be back soon enough, so you can't really. You just start walking around a little bit. But there are a lot of places on the map where you can be farming souls, and there are a lot of breakable boxes or vases that'll give you souls.
Buddha statues.
A lot of golden Buddha statues. They'll give you reload speed or
little
ammo.
Attribute updates. Yeah,
and there are not rollouts exactly. But in certain lanes, if you get used to it, there are certain there's a knowledge of which jungles are closer to you, which breakable boxes are going to be there. So when you're not actively shooting somebody, where are you going? And recently, in one of the tournaments, a really powerful strategy was once you get a little bit of a soul lead on the other team, you start taking their jungles. You don't hit your jungles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they're never going to be able to catch up on that
Correct.
slow
Like
lead.
it's not a new
You're
strategy.
stealing their XP.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited about Deadlock. I don't think I'll ever be great. I don't think I'll ever commit that much time at it. But I think when it is an esport, or now that it is one, I will be keeping up with it.
Right now it's still in beta or alpha or whatever, right?
Alpha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll play it when it fully launches, and I might actually just give it a full weekend.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Because I gave it 2 games. I also didn't like
it when I first played it.
Right now, I also don't like the pick ban. Right now, I don't like the way that is.
Oh, in that there is no banning.
There's no ban. I do not like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
also,
random.
like you made a good argument, and that's just the way it feels to me. Like I don't like that. I can't pick my character before I go into game. Like you can choose like what you prefer to play.
Yes.
And like in League of Legends, your character could get banned.
Yep.
But it's like, since there's 160 of them,
Yes.
Right.
You're probably gonna get what you want to play. 45 games out of 50.
Right.
Whereas in Deadlock, you're maybe gonna get 30 games out of 50 what you want. And I'm like, ooh, I'm not sure how good I feel about that. And it sucks because the first person I play is 7. He's like the most popular character in the game.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just locked out 3 people from him.
Yeah.
Can 7? Can 2 7s be on the map?
Nope. One character of like
per
across
game.
teams. Yep.
Yeah. So how does that even track? Oh, so that's random if you even get yours too.
Yep.
See, things like that. Yeah, I just don't really like that. Like in League, if someone picked the character I wanted, I can see that and go, oh, okay, well, I'll go to my secondary. But it's just not.
Yeah. In this one,
I
you
don't
just
know
pick the
what I'm
secondary
going
ahead of
into
time, and there aren't nearly enough characters yet because it's so early
Yeah.
to have more confidence that. Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. My best advice, I read this. I think it was on Reddit because it always is get good, forehead.
Ha!
Yeah, so that's always timeless wisdom. In any case,
Right.
remember that time we started a Baldur's Gate 3 campaign?
I do.
Yeah.
You remember that, Aaron?
Yeah, I spent $60.
We can do it again. We can do it again.
Well, now we have Space Marine 2 that
Yeah, I
we
know.
haven't
It's
even
hard to
found
do
time
both.
to play together.
I still love it.
I mean, I think a Baldur's Gate 3 campaign doesn't have to have a time. Yeah, it kind of does.
It does.
You just can't
Space
forget
Marine
all
2,
this.
we've actually played 3 times though. I was on in Darklight Crusaders doxed in the Discord for an hour and a half last Monday. No one stopped by. I was
Message
playing
me.
Space Marine 2 the entire time. I messaged you that I was going to be on.
I was
I
in
messaged
Vegas. So.
you were in Vegas.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yep.
What was I doing Monday? I did do yoga on Monday.
It's fine.
Yeah.
No big deal. I just
We can do it again.
I played the solo mission of the multiplayer mission that we had already played. So I ran through that by myself. I had to kill all the creatures on the towers and stuff.
That's a good.
I have been doing such a hard time. Have you beaten the whole game?
No, I'm on mission 3.
Okay, good.
Okay, you're close.
I'm having a really tough time avoiding spoilers. Apparently, the game is way more than what I thought it is. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh, in a
it's
great
way,
way.
We have to play through it.
way more.
We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you already know there's bad guy Space Marines, right? Have you already faced them yet?
No.
Okay, yeah. Apparently, some of the footage that I've seen, and I just had to stop watching it. It's like it goes away from Tyranids is like the bait, like that they want you to think it's a full Tyranid
I
game.
figured as much. Yeah.
But it's actually you're fighting Thousand Suns, which is crazy.
Interesting.
And I saw a couple the kill animations on them, brutal, dude. They are amazing.
Yes.
Which
Dude,
would be a great, great change up from killing.
What
the
are those
bugs.
called? The mind flares or whatever that
Yep.
hover above them. Dude, the executions on those are so fun.
Yeah.
As somebody who so the second console I ever got was an Xbox 360, and the first game I ever fell in love with on 360 was Gears of War 2, and I did not know that Gears of War 2 was heavily influenced by Warhammer, and so the executions with the chainsaw gun in Gears of War 2 are now such an homage to this, and so seeing that, and then when you can do the execution animation. Like it's not just one animation. Like you can. You can
I love the
yeah.
And it's quick and it's
so
awesome.
quick.
And it's just like it's like a mini bullet time, and it's just dope.
I don't feel like I'm going to get ruined if I do it. Like it does seem to have a place. Like
Yeah. Nothing feels bad or forced so far.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I think the only thing we agreed on was the quick time event for grabbing like grenades or opening doors. The wheel that you have to hold down.
Slow.
It's just it's not even that it's like it's so slow. It's just like why can't it just be like
right
that faster? Just
well,
that faster.
it's jarring every time because your Marine will walk up to it and just stand there.
Yeah,
like he's not even like reaching.
Yeah,
for it
and
or
I'm just like I always take my finger off a fraction of a second before because I'm like, yeah, this is just done.
That's annoying.
And then I gotta hold it again.
Yeah.
Anyways,
one issue we did have was me being able to connect. What was that thing like?
It was just because you didn't do a cutscene.
It was because you didn't do the very first cutscene.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting bug.
Yeah, it took a while to solve that.
Yeah, Google is your friend for sure.
You know what's not nearly as successful as Warhammer? Concord. I did not.
Man.
Every time I look up stuff about this game, I find out like new depths.
Yeah.
To which
it's so sad.
So
I love the meme right now where the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yes.
It's 500 plus the 200 Concord fee.
Yeah, it was like we were gonna list this at 500, but then we lost Concord. We had to make up for that, so we tacked on extra.
Okay.
$200.
New
So
stats
good.
I just found on a Forbes article
Lord.
from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So the budget was. Did you see the number yet?
Yeah, I already know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
$400 million on this game,
Right.
and Sony like they thought this was going to be the future of PlayStation. And a Star Wars level franchise.
Right.
They thought that this world was going to be so immersive, so fan loved, that you could get. I mean, how many movies are there of Star Wars?
Do you
How many
guys
games?
Did you
do
guys
have?
watch the trailer when it first came out?
I did not. When it
I
first
had.
came
I still to this day don't even know what Concord is.
Are you serious?
I have no idea what it
wild.
is.
It's like Guardians of the Galaxy Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like the characters are very
Another one, dude.
Well, it's no longer.
Yeah. No. They're already.
No.
They're already.
I
shutting
literally
down.
have not seen any footage of the game.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know that the game was coming out.
It
Like-
looked
Like 2 weeks ago, when
It
someone
looks
said that there was only
good,
like
in my
400 people
opinion.
playing it.
Yeah, the max it ever
I
got
wasn't
to
gonna
was
pay for it.
697 concurrent viewers.
The thing
Overwatch,
is-
which is a dying game or dead game,
Yeah.
is still over 100K.
But
concurrent
Overwatch
viewers.
is a free-to-play game now,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
yes.
when you are doing a direct one-to-one competition,
Was this game paid?
yeah, $40.
$40.
$40.
Even
Yeah.
if
Overwatch
you
phone?
say
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
less than 70,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
You can't justify competing with a free-to-play game by charging money.
Mhm.
Does it
You-
come with 100 skins for each character? at
Exactly,
launch?
no.
I remember we used to have conversations about how like you wish you would be able to, instead of the free to play and battle pass
I
models. just be
completely
able-
agree.
Yeah. But like
I completely agree.
now that the genie's out of the bottle, you just
no.
Yeah.
I still agree with that. My problem is if Overwatch was also $40, why would you pay another $40 to play Concord?
That's
Right.
that's
Well,
also an
and
issue.
Overwatch is free now.
It is free
That's
now,
the-
but you see my point? If that's the problem with also paid games, right? If something comes to the market and is already a market leader,
Yeah.
why you're not going to create?
Mm.
It's not. It's a
Well, it's like
game. It's a commodity.
Battlefield existed when Call of Duty was already.
They're but they scratch completely different
They
itches.
do. They don't go after the same demographic,
Yeah. Okay.
actually.
Battlefield players are not COD players.
They are not.
Okay.
And you know what's weird? Because COD players will play some Battlefield, but Battlefield players will not play COD.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's they don't. They only translate one way. Yeah. It's like
Interesting.
what is the blood types? You know? It's
Yeah.
like Battlefield has their own blood type.
Well, and Call of Duty players only play Battlefield to take a break from Call of Duty.
Yeah.
To
It's like,
take a
oh,
breath,
it's
come
not
up
a
for air.
Black Ops. Yeah, I'll just
Right.
play Battlefield until
The games that Battlefield players play to take a break from Battlefield is like Arma.
Yeah.
Or Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah.
That's fair. But one crazy thing I saw in the same article. So apparently there was a culture of so-called toxic positivity.
What?
Where
Yes
you,
men. It's
you
just a yes man culture.
like where there's a very fine line between could not and really shouldn't say anything negative about the game, the character designs.
You know, it
Right,
doesn't
I don't
matter.
understand.
Everyone got paid. That's the crappy thing.
Like what you're saying? Sony implemented
The leadership chain.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if all these devs, the only way they got paid was like hitting milestones through sales? Yo, actually, this game sucks. We need to change this.
Yeah. Instead,
imagine tying like 30% of your salary as a bonus to the game's sales.
Well,
you'd speak up a little bit more. It's like, hey,
you
you know what?
you would.
Pretty sure no one's gonna.
Well, the game was originally developed like independently, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and then
Sony bought the
Yeah.
studio like 2023.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like even in 2023 when the alpha came out and it was looking terrible and unfinished, Sony still thought it could be the tentpole, the future of PlayStation. And yeah, pipe dreams.
I wouldn't be surprised too if they like brought in some like Bungie like expertise to kind of put the final touches on it, right? Because
apparently there were a lot of touches that needed to be final. But so I feel like
I don't even feel like the game was that necessarily bad because I didn't get any like content on my feed anyway that was saying Concord was a bad
game. It's $40.
game.
That's a clone of other stuff.
But that's the thing.
No one will ever know.
And they didn't do it in creative ways like Pal World.
Yeah.
I'm still lost as to why Sony would sunset the game as opposed to just going free to play.
They made literally 0 sales.
If you can't break 700 concurrent viewers,
it's because the server cost.
Yeah.
The server cost is too high.
Yeah.
They had like what 200 players on like the second weekend of launch.
Yeah, but if you make it free to play, you will get.
You're still employing the devs to keep
and they could have
developing
pivoted
the game.
like that, but no.
Maybe they don't have it built out. Maybe they don't have skins and stuff built out to sell.
Right.
They don't have all that built into the engine.
Well, especially if so much work needed to go into finalizing the game just to get it playable. I mean, even if they did get it playable, that would suggest that they don't have very much in the pipeline ready. They were hoping for like a bit. Yeah. So
don't like count it out from not coming back though. I feel like
could pull and evolve.
Yeah, I feel like we might see it in like 2 years.
Maybe they just put it in the oven, polish it up, get it ready for free to play, get it ready.
I think it is too embarrassing, and it won't happen.
No,
I don't think $400 million is something that's like quote unquote embarrassing.
I think 700 max players, under 700 max players.
I'm saying I don't think that matters when someone's like, can we just eke out like
even No Man's Sky when
20
it was
million
trash,
right? The game is built out, right?
Right. So the engine's done.
Right.
Like there's money still to be harvested somehow.
Yes, absolutely.
So hell, they could just make it a full PvE thing.
Sure.
And just release it like Destiny, like a Destiny type
exactly.
thing.
Throwing good money after bad or something.
All right, let's lightning round this. Speaking of Sony, PS5 Pro, $700.
Yeah.
Hot take, it's a perfectly fine price.
It actually so my knee-jerk reaction is like, whoa, $700 for a home console. But then after I watched the presentation, the type of performance that it's giving you.
You saw some of Digital Foundry stuff that they went and did with some other video. And they did a 10 times better presentation than Sony did.
Well, Digital Foundry is actually pretty good at that stuff. So that's not surprising. But it's like you can't actually get that fidelity and that resolution out of a PC for that price.
No, not even close.
Yep.
Not even close.
So it is the Pro model.
Yes.
It is targeted at enthusiasts.
Yeah. Here's where I'm at.
But it's still a home console, so it's a hard pill to swallow for gamers.
No. First of all, if you don't own a PS5, which chances are if you are even interested in the Pro, you already own a PS5, okay?
Right,
but let's say
exactly.
you don't own a PS5. The $700 is still, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay? I want to come at it from a different angle. You buy a PS5 Pro and an Asus XG27 QDMG,
okay,
which is the OLED, which is the OLED monitor. That's $700 with tax. Let's say you're all in $1,600. Okay, that's a little high. $1,600 gets you what 5 years ago would have been an $8,000 level experience for $1,600.
Right.
You can slap a keyboard and mouse on a PS5 Pro.
Can't use the mouse for gaming in a meaningful way, but
really, why?
Yeah, the input latency, I guess, is really high on consoles. I mean, I haven't
Really?
seen what it's like for the PlayStation 5.
Well, we're getting a Pro here, so we'll be able to test it all out.
That'd be nice, actually.
We are getting one.
Yeah.
It's been in the budget forever now.
Right.
I'm just waiting for it to launch. I already knew it was going to be $700 too. You can see my notes 6 months ago.
Really?
The first rumor, I'm like, it's $700. Yeah,
Oh,
I
dang.
knew exactly how much it was going to cost.
Yeah. I wonder how much GameStop will give me for my old one.
Right now, you can trade in a PS5.
Yeah.
You can trade in a PS5 for $349.
Oh, for the pre-order or whatever?
Yeah, for the pre-order of the PS5.
So I'll
Pro.
get half off, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually
yeah.
Here's the main benefit of it. This PS5 Pro is going to age like fine wine.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
The main thing for me is that they're aiming for 60 FPS experiences for everything.
Yep.
Nothing will be 30 FPS on that console.
Right.
That's the goal.
Right. In 4K.
In 4K.
Yep.
Now they're using PSSR,
Yep.
which is their Sony's custom in-house upscaling tech.
But they have data from all of their systems on how to optimize
Well, it's also forcible to only 2 GPUs, PS5 and the PS5 Pro GPU. So like it's perfectly optimized.
Right.
I mean, everyone wonders like how consoles can get away with like insane performance. It's pure optimization.
Right.
They only have 1, maybe 2 data sets that they ever have to work on. Okay.
Right.
The only game I know that won't hit 60 FPS on a PS5 probably is going to be GTA 6.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like that's what the Pro along with GTA 6, those are almost going to be requirements. Play GTA 6
I was
60.
also thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah.
If you want to play Grand Theft Auto 6 in a proper manner, you need a PS5 Pro.
Yep.
That is going to be the system.
Yeah. But it's like, I feel like a lot of people disrespect monitors when they're like buying their gaming setup, and a lot of people want to play on their TV. They already own it. But if you buy a PS5 Pro and any of the 27-inch OLEDs, you are going to have the time of your life. You can set your graphics to 1440p.
Sure. Yeah.
Which means you're going to
be able to crank out 120 frames.
Not only that, every game will run natively.
Yeah.
There will be no upscaling.
True.
Especially on a PS5 Pro. But even on a PS5, I bet you they're all run natively.
We'll have to test that.
Yep. And so it's like, wow, I'm getting perfect HDR, perfect blacks, perfect response time.
Yep.
I mean, the controller is the actual bottleneck. Even a controller is going to feel slow on an OLED.
Well, and something that the PlayStation has that the PCs don't have for controller players like myself is those haptic triggers, man.
Oh, yeah, those feel great. Yeah, I know. Everyone says those are awesome.
Oh.
So, I don't know.
Grand Theft Auto's going to have that, of course.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto's going to have that, of course.
So, I am stoked for the PS5 Pro. I think it's priced fine. You're paying 40% more money for 45% more performance.
Yeah, which is right. That feels good.
I do agree with the rest of the internet. Not having a stand included is garbage.
Yeah.
Disk drive is kind of whatever.
Right.
Anyway, everyone's smoking crack when they're like, "Oh, I gotta have a disk drive." Man, your games are so DRM'd. You think your disk is gonna save you? It's not. The industry's heading a certain direction. Get over it.
Yep.
We lost.
Get
over it.
Right.
And
but the actual stand not being included is
I think
bogus.
For a Pro model. Come on.
That's ridiculous.
It's also bigger. Did you notice how big it is?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's larger.
Oh, interesting.
At least the pictures made it look like that.
That makes sense.
It looks like it's like that much taller.
It's got to have a huge heat sink on it.
Yeah,
that's why.
Probably.
Yeah, interesting.
We'll definitely pick that up. On the
yeah. There was a truck running by in case we didn't hear it. Yeah, that was really loud. But anyways, yeah. So I think it's pretty good. Speaking of PSSR, upscaling taking over the industry.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's semi-keeping the industry in check is all the hardware reviewers refuse to use any upscaling at any of their benchmarks. They will not turn it on.
Yeah.
And I swear, there's, they'll probably never admit it, but they have like a private Discord of like the top 15 YouTubers, and they all have just agreed like, hey, we're not using like DLSS on as part of our benchmarks for like when
Even the
new
YouTubers
cards.
don't do it?
What?
Even the YouTubers don't do it?
No, that's what I mean. The YouTubers don't. None of them do. Hardware, Gamers Nexus. They will like, oh, and this is what it would look like. But they only refer cards based on their native performance levels. Yeah, so they're like, yeah, this card's terrible. Now, it could have DLSS 4.0, and now you're doubling your frame rate.
You know why they're probably doing that, though? Is because you want to compare this hardware with the hardware that was available 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that didn't have that upscaling ability.
And that's the thing.
So eventually it'll go away.
Yeah, because they DLSS frame generation. It's only available on 4th gen.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, wow, I use that. I'm like, holy crap, this is actually insane.
Right.
Oh, you mean my perfectly good 3080 Ti just can't do it? It's like, well, no, you got to have a reason to buy a 4th gen.
Right.
It's like, okay, all right. How about you just give me more physical cores? How about that?
Right.
So, yeah, I feel like upscaling is a big crutch, but Space Marine 2 showed that the game just runs really well, except for some of the TAA kind of making stuff look blurry. But I think Space Marine 2 looks really well. It doesn't have ray tracing, though, so that's probably why it runs pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty consistent. So, and then, yeah, let me take this one, Big Hoss. 13, 14 gen. All right.
Here we go.
You know how many messages I've gotten about this stuff, dude? A lot.
I bet. I mean, you're the expert, man.
All right.
No one knows fucking CPU. Ooh, no one knows
that's
CPU
like your
is
fifth
better
F-bomb.
than you.
You'll beep these out.
The drinks, they got me, brothers.
Yeah. The White Claws make you a sailor. All right. So, first of all, if you have an i5 or an i3, 13th or 14th gen, completely ignore anything you hear.
Okay.
Nothing's a problem.
Okay.
Even if you have a K model, no one cares. Stop. You're fine. If you have an i7, from what I understand, you have a 10% chance of your CPU dying 2 years early. Okay.
That still sucks.
Can you open up your case, pull it out, get a new thing, RMA through? Yeah. All right. Fair enough. If it's a 13th gen, probably a 20% chance.
Wow.
If
Terrible.
it's a 14th gen, it's probably a 10% chance. Okay?
Okay.
That's natively. Hang on.
Yeah.
It gets way better, though, okay? If you install the newest Agisa update to your BIOS, it limits the core clock. It's going to bring your frequency probably down to 100 megahertz, and then you're fine.
Okay.
Takes you 2 minutes to do it. You're going to lose some performance.
Sure.
Are you going to notice the difference between 160 FPS and 153 FPS? Absolutely not. But if you're a number nerd, you will. All right. If you have an i9, it's considerably worse news.
Oh, no.
If you have a 13th gen i9, especially if you have a KS, there aren't many people who have a KS. That is like bin super samples that were like an extra $200 a chip. If you have a 13900 KS, you have an 80% chance.
That's awful.
And as a matter of fact, your chip is already probably dead.
Oh.
Not like your system isn't booting, but like you're probably not even able to hit 5.2 gigahertz on your 13900 KS. And you've probably been crashing a lot.
Huge.
If you have a 14900K or KS, that you have about a 50% chance.
Crazy.
Now, I bet you most people who have i9s just go, oh, biggest number. I'll just buy that one. And they don't even know that their system is running like slowly degrading over time. I bet you don't even know. Unless they're crashing a lot. Also, I'll just say in this PSA, nobody needs to buy anything over a 4070 Ti Super for gaming. Okay? That card is plenty. Plenty.
Yeah.
Okay? Unlike YouTube reviewers, you put DLSS on to the quality mode.
Yeah.
And turn on frame gen.
Right.
Dude, you're rocking 200 FPS in every single game.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible, okay?
In 4K?
Yeah. Yeah. There's only like 3 games that will bottleneck you, and don't spend an extra $800
right.
for 3 games. Okay.
Yeah.
And then also with that, no one needs anything more than a 14.6. So like an i5. An unlocked i5 is plenty.
Why not just go with the 12th gen? What are you
12th gen
gaining?
is fine, but the frequency of 13 to 14 gen was like 400 megahertz higher. So like I have a 12700K.
Yep.
Okay, and I sit now. Mine's overclocked, like manually overclocked.
Right.
So I'm sitting at 5 gigahertz all core.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like tweaked, and I have a very expensive water cooling setup. Okay, or I could have just bought a 14600K and got 5.4 out of the box on air. Oh, for $130 cheaper than what I spent on my 12th gen.
Mm-hmm.
So 13 and 14 gen are crazy. The reason they're crazy is because Intel was like, dial all the way up.
Yeah.
And then they had oxidation issues, which they didn't tell anyone about.
I see.
So, anyways, the main thing is, if you were going to have a problem, you would have already had it.
Right.
And so stop worrying about it. And if you're worried about it, update your BIOS. And then you don't have to worry about it.
And just don't buy one. Wait for 15th gen, right?
15th gen is being released in 2 months.
Yeah. Right around the time.
No
of the 50
hyper-threading
series.
for the first time ever.
Oh.
No hyper-threading.
We're that small now, aren't we?
What?
We're that small on the nanometer scale.
No, I don't even think it's that. I think there's a lot of issues with hyper-threading that I could go into, but that are way beyond this
Our
conversation.
scope.
But it's only going to be 1 thread per core, not 2 threads per core. So now you can't say it's like 10 cores, 20 threads. It'll be 10 cores, 10 threads.
What kind of frequency do you think they run then?
Less than what we're getting now. But
Really?
IPC is up to 20% better. Instructions per clock. So punch for punch, it's doing more.
Right.
But less punches total, but more throughput total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that'll be interesting.
That's going to be a hard time for them to present that, but
Nah.
you don't think so?
It's a completely different architecture.
Okay.
Yeah. It's always better. What is Spectre Divide?
It was kind of fun. I had a good time. So this is
that's the game.
That is the game.
This is Shroud's partnered game.
Yep.
It is a 3v3 tactical shooter, but each of the characters has 2 bodies. So it plays like a 6v6.
Right.
And I was most impressed.
Kind of. I mean,
kind of.
it's
kind of.
a 3v3
It's a 3v3 with 2
lives.
bodies. You can't. Yes. You will never have 6 people moving at the same time. Maximum, you have 3 people moving at the same time, but you will have to worry about more corners. And
once people start getting good at it, though, it's gonna start to feel
So
like.
are you hot swapping bodies?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
In real time. Yeah.
When you hot swap, is the body out of like a turret?
No,
it
it's
just
more like a.
It's like a set of ears. Yeah, it's a sound sensor. It like you get a
sound
danger
and
warning.
sight.
Yeah.
So you get a caution if it hears footsteps. You get a warning if they see somebody.
How fast does swapping happen?
Less than a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an animation for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
But it is. Yeah. It was cool. I felt very dumb. I felt
Also, sorry.
No.
I just want to go more into that
yeah.
mechanic. You have a device that the puck that spawns your other body, right? And so you always have the puck on you. Doesn't matter what body you're on, you have the puck to summon the other body wherever you want to throw it. But it takes time of travel for that body to get to the new puck location. So
that's how you move it without having to hot swap, is what you're saying.
right.
Interesting.
So like you could spawn your body on this side, right? Your second body. You're over here fighting. And you're like, you know what? I might not win this. I want my other body here to continue the fight. I now throw my puck here. It takes time for your other body to physically travel to that puck.
Crazy mechanic.
And if you die while your other body is traveling to that puck, then it actually goes back to its original spot. You have to survive while it's traveling for your body to actually transfer that.
What an absolutely insane mechanic. What's the animation style? Tuning?
It's like Borderlandsy.
It's like
a little bit like
it's like Valorant in Borderlands.
Okay.
It's an anime style though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the gunplay? I mean, it's got to be good if it's Shroud.
It's in between Call of Duty and Counter-Strike.
It is.
Oh, okay.
There is a large penalty for not ADSing, right? Unless you're like.
Oh,
that's
so
for the
you
Call of
need
Duty.
ADS.
Yeah, that's for the Call of Duty.
Unless you're
gameplay
just
comes
tap
in.
firing. If you're tap firing, you'll probably be okay. But like you spray, it's not. The crosshair is just a guideline. It's like.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
But I was pretty impressed with how smooth the puck transitions were.
You can strafe fire in this game.
You can. Yeah.
If you have ADS on, that's what I like about it, because that's more of my Call of Duty style fighting. It's still not as accurate, but it's not as punishing as Valorant or Counter-Strike when you're strafe shooting, as long as you're ADS.
I've heard that BLOPS 6 has a new movement style.
The Omni movement.
Yeah. They were saying, I watched a video. I could only hear it, so I didn't get to see it. But he basically said you cannot tactical sprint unless it's forward now.
Yeah, but you can sprint in every direction.
Yes, that I don't understand.
And you can dive in every direction.
So you could just like jump backwards.
Yeah, and it's great. I love it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
But then there's this new tech now too. I don't know if they patched it up, but the last time I checked in on it, what you can do is you can dive forward and you can cancel the dive with a sprint back. So it looks like when your character is like coming around a corner, they're actually like break dancing. And so you can go around corners like essentially like planking and stuff. And it's hilarious. I love it so much. Call of Duty is good. So crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah. So format changes because we got to wrap this up.
We do.
Eat. So we're gonna try to, like today we're just back in shop, but what we're gonna try to be doing is we're gonna try to up our quality a little bit. We're buying some equipment, and we're also gonna start doing segments.
Yeah.
So these segments we're gonna pre-plan for them. We're gonna kind of write down our thoughts, have like outlines made. And basically, it's going to be us taking you guys on a journey for around 20 minutes.
Whatever ends up working.
Whatever it ends up working. And we're going to just talk about kind of like our thing that we want to talk about. It might be Q&A. It might be a thing we're passionate about. It might be something where we're like, all right, I want to see what Forrest and David think about this. And I have all these questions prepared. So it's just a segment. How the segment runs is up to each of us. And then every other episode, we're going to have a guest on. And
can't say every other episode. We might not be able to commit to that.
Yeah, that's true.
Aspirationally.
Yeah, we're going to try.
We're
going to try to have 6 guests on this season.
Yeah.
So we agreed to do 12 episodes a season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
maybe 24. It's hard to say.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. We're going to do. Or we do 11, because we can never do the last episode.
That's true, but it'll be a great episode. No one will see it. But it'll be a really good episode.
Just for us.
So we're gonna try to do 12 episodes a season, and then take a break because breaks are good. They're healthy. And Forrest is like, chugga.
Hey, you guys
keep
know
the train going.
Wasn't Vegas a fun break? It was like a break.
Really. It was a break from my.
Hey, he's on camera. Normal, he has to say he was working the whole time.
No, actually, well, to be continued.
Yeah, but all right, cool. So we're gonna be coming back to you guys with that, and I'm pretty excited. I think our first guest is Piers.
Mm-hmm.
He's already lined up. We've known Piers for a while. He's kind of a dude that likes to do things.
He is a dude, yeah.
In the Green Bay area.
Yeah,
and we also just hired him as well. So he's going to start working for us in our Appleton location.
Terrific.
So it'll be a good time to hear what he thinks. He's a very positive and energetic person. So
and a streamer.
So he loves to be on camera.
He does.
He loves to be on camera. So all right, with that, we will catch you guys later and see you next time.
See you in episode 2.